Sure. Hey there.
Hi.
I wasn't actually talking to you, but hello. I'm
You know,
talking to them.
what you gonna do? I get excited.
Oh my
That's a blooper.
or not. We just leave it in there. Who cares? Hello, I'm Andrea,
I'm Wendy.
and we are back talking about retreat stuff. What we want to talk about today is maybe some things you should think about doing before the retreat. So we sign up for a retreat and we think about, oh, what are the projects I'm going to do there, and who are the friends I'm going to see, and what am I going to eat, and where am I going to sleep, and all those things. Excuse me. But sometimes we don't think about the things that would be good to get done before we go, so that we make our whole retreat much smoother, more enjoyable, just a better experience all the way around. And the first one for me is get your machine serviced. I highly recommend doing your annual service or your biannual service, whatever it is. And do it in plenty of time, because at least around here, you can send your machine out to be serviced and it might take 2 months to come back. So if you're going to get your machine serviced, just make sure you do it in plenty of time so that you know you'll have it back before the retreat starts.
Yep.
But this is getting all the fuzz blown out of it, getting it oiled.
Which kind of makes me think of that picture you posted not too long ago of cleaning your machine. I don't post those pictures because mine's really more embarrassing than hers.
Yes, it was fun. And I have to say, it's one of the photos I posted that got the most comments on Facebook was my crazy pile of machine fuzz. So, but that's just what I can get to. I know that my service person is going to get a lot more out of there. So, that's one thing I like to do before the retreat. That way I know I'm not gonna, my timing is right. I'm not gonna end up having something go haywire, so I don't have a machine to use, etc. So what do you think? What do you suggest people do?
So probably the biggest thing that I've forgotten and it's bitten me before, is I check my supplies in my tool bag. Because I have a tool bag with all my extras. I've got tape, I've got an extra package or two of straight pins, I've got needles in various sizes for my machine, I've got extra triangle tape to put on the bed of my machine. I just double check that. I try to keep a note at the top as I run out of or get low on things, but taking an hour and going through and double checking everything, making sure there's not things in there that I don't need or multiples of things that are not necessary. Try to lessen the weight while increasing the value. My chiropractor calls my purse an anchor, so we got that going for us.
Yeah. So basically, clean out your
toolbox.
toolbox. Yeah, and I know that a lot of quilters, me included, I have an actual toolbox of stuff. I've actually gotten to retreats and cleaned the toolbox out at the retreat because it was unusable with all the stuff in it.
I started with a toolbox. I went from a small toolbox like fishing tackle to a larger toolbox, and now I have an actual Tudo bag.
Yeah, I know.
With smaller toolboxy things inside, but I've been able to help a lot of people because I have extra power cables for machines, and I've got God only knows what else in there.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the bonus tip is pack extra stuff, not so much that you create a boat anchor, but enough extra that maybe you could help out a friend. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yep.
Well, I'm just looking at our list because again, we had so many ideas that we had to narrow it down. I would also suggest, and this is something I've been guilty of not doing, And that is reread all the information about your retreat. So some retreats require you to bring your own cup.
Ours in particular, otherwise, because they don't provide the center where we're at, do not
Drinking
provide
vessels.
cups of any kind, plastic, paper,
Or
ceramic,
otherwise.
reusable. Yeah, no, you're on your own.
Yeah,
You'd be drinking like this could be a problem.
right. So if you actually want to drink during the retreat outside of meal times, you need to bring a cup. That would be not a good thing to know after you get there. Or knowing that your retreat, like ours, might ask you not to wear any scent. So please use unscented shampoo, please use unscented soap, please do not put on perfume. You're in close proximity and others might have allergies and so on to various scents. Again, that would be something that would be bad to figure out once you get there. So I'm going to say reread all that, make sure that you've provided everything the retreat organizers need. You have brought everything that the retreat is recommending and that you know what all the guidelines and code of conduct and rules and regs and all that are, because those are set up to make sure you have the very best experience
And that you're safe.
and that you're safe and that others are safe.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So how about one more from you?
Probably the retreat checklist to make sure I've got everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which kind of goes along with the retreat information because usually that's included. But you never know. You might have your own personal retreat checklist.
Yeah.
Like, do I have the ruler I need for this pattern? Do I
Right.
have I got enough projects but not too many projects? Do I have, extra thread for this or, things of that nature?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good one. I think that if you're interested, we have the ultimate retreat checklist.
18 pages at current
Well,
time.
yeah, we're reducing it at the moment. Before the link shows up in the description
It'll
below,
be shorter.
it'll
We
be
promise.
shorter than that. But it will be comprehensive.
That's our goal.
And so, yeah, maybe for some things you hadn't thought of. Especially, I find that because I'm a veteran traveler, I do a lot of travel for work. I already have sort of my personal travel stuff it's all packed all the time. I put my clothes in and I put another bag in that has pajamas and my toiletries and, all my little slippers that I like to have there. It has all my things in it. But for folks who don't travel a lot, we've got a section about your personal stuff, making sure you don't forget your medications or
Your toothbrush.
your toothbrush. I bring my own tea bags,
Ditto.
right? These are things that you don't think about much, but the checklist will take you through a thought process for what are the things you use every day that are small that you can bring with you.
That you don't think about when you go to grab them.
Right.
Because they're just always there.
Right, exactly. And if you're driving to your retreat, I bring a pillow because for me, that is super important for my own just happiness and comfort and making my experience better.
Yep.
So there you go. There's some things to think about before you even start with your packing and all of that. I think we're ready to look at what's on the wall, Wendy.
All righty. So on the wall today, we have got Krista Moser's Biggie the Bee baby quilt.
So cute.
Lots and lots of triangles. It's a good one to start. It's one of the easier ones to start with if you're not used to dealing with diamonds and triangles. This is the ruler she used. It's the 60-degree diamond by Creative Grids. She's got a mini one too, but you need the big one for this. It was a lot of fun picking the fabrics and getting that bee done.
It's
It was
adorable. We do love the bees.
We do.
I'm a big bee fan.
She used to be a beekeeper.
I used to be a beekeeper. I don't have time for that anymore, unfortunately. And we have one on the table as well.
So this one might be familiar to a number of people. It's an older pattern. It's Dogs and Sweaters by Elizabeth Hartman.
We love Elizabeth
We
Hartman.
do. Her stuff is right
So
up there.
cute. So
So,
cute.
yep, in this particular one, I did all of the sweaters are some kind of a Snoopy or Peanuts print. And there's 5 rows of dogs. The top 2 and the bottom 2 all have the exact same sweater print. That center row has bright colored Snoopy prints.
I love this one.
So, yeah.
So cute. All right. Well, these are patterns that somebody could bring to a retreat. and do.
Absolutely.
Now, does this
Absolutely.
one need any kind of special tools?
This one does not require any special tools that I can remember. It's just
Excellent.
all straight piecing.
Excellent. So that seems like it would be a pretty
Beginner
easy one.
friendly.
Beginner friendly.
Yep.
So speaking of beginner friendly, I don't actually have a wellness tip. Actually, I do have a wellness tip, which I'll get to in a minute. But one more thing I want to say about retreats. So I spend a lot of time lurking in some retreat, online retreat groups. And here's a question that comes up a lot. And that is, I'm a beginner sewist. I've never been to a retreat before. I've never made a whole quilt. I'm just learning my machine. All these questions that are, from people who don't have a lot of sewing experience. And here's the cool thing about retreats. Not all retreats. Some retreats have classes, so they're going to require a specific level of expertise or skill, possibly. But for the most part, if you're going to an open sew retreat, so
Which is ours.
Ours is an open sew retreat. You can't find a better place to be a beginner.
Seriously.
Yeah, because first of all the retreats I've ever been to, including ours, it is such a lovely group of people who are super excited to see other people succeed.
And we love to bring new people into, we love being the gateway drug to quilting.
We do. And we are maybe even a little over helpful at times. So
There is that.
there is that. So if you need help, want support, want inspiration, and you're new, bring yourself, bring your machine, and pick a simple pattern. In fact, maybe we can come up with a list of
Absolutely. Some
simple,
nice, a half a dozen nice beginner patterns
for retreat.
Yep.
And yeah, learn to get more expert with your machine. I'll tell you, after 3 or 4 days of sewing, you will know your machine inside and out.
Pretty close.
That's a great way to really get solidly comfortable with your machine.
And there's usually enough people and enough diversity in machines. So if you do run into a problem, there's somebody there that can help you with it because they've got the same machine or they used to have, or, it's very similar to theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
As well as if you run into a problem, there are so many different skill levels and, people willing to help you with a new technique or,
Guilty.
technique lady right there.
And also, she's an overhelper too.
What can I say? That's my love language.
Yeah. So if you're a beginner and you're concerned, obviously always ask the retreat coordinators, is this suitable for beginners? I have this much experience. I've never used my machine. I've only sewed clothing. I've never made quilts. Like whatever it is, ask the retreat coordinator. But for the most part, I'm going to say I've never seen an open sew type retreat where they didn't not only welcome beginners, but pretty much crave them, because we do like to introduce people to this craft that we love.
We do. We do. We love to see new people. It re-energizes us.
Exactly.
As more experienced quilters and sewers. I have been known to be the re-energizing focus for someone who's got more experience than I am. So it's a never-ending cycle. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So the wellness tip that I was thinking about, I mentioned it offhand in another video, but just like you should get up and move around once an hour, you should frequently move your eyes away from your close work. So again, in a room, like your home, there's only so far you can focus. At a retreat in a big ballroom, you can focus even further away. So remember to keep your eyes moving at on different focal points so that you're not just looking close, focused on close work for hours and hours at a time, because
It
that is
will-
not good for your eyes.
Yeah, it'll tire your eyes out and you won't be able to focus on anything if your eyes get too tired. Ask me how I know.
And it's just not good for your eyes.
Exactly.
So just as if you were working at a computer all day, you should look away and focus every once in a while. I would say every 10 to 15 minutes. You should do the same when you're sewing. So
And it's really easy to do at a retreat because there's so much going on. You hear a
Yeah.
conversation, you look up and see who's talking. Somebody says, "Oh, look at this," and you look over there and see what's up. It's really helpful.
and it's a great place to build that habit.
Exactly.
So again, after 3 or 4 days of looking up, maybe when you go home, you won't be fixated on that close focus.
And some of us have emotional support noise in the background in the form of movies that periodically you look up and refocus on.
Emotional support noise.
It works. It definitely helps. It's another thing to lift up and focus for.
Background noise.
Exactly.
There you go. I think that's it for our pre-retreat checklist.
I think it's good.
Yeah. And until next time.
Well, and as always, if you think we've forgotten anything or you've got any specific questions or comments or suggestions, comments down below.
And our ultimate retreat checklist in the description. And maybe we should start putting links to the patterns.
We certainly can.
Yeah.
I will make sure
Let's
we've
do
got
that.
that.
Awesome. Till next time.
See ya.